Every detail matters. At least I think so. When you look at cultural design, you have to figure out all the stuff we're programmed to do in particular ways, and I wonder if we should be doing them that way. In this case, we're going to cut up an apple. I don't like these little plastic tags they put on them. This is an apple called a gala apple. There's lots of kinds of apples, and I don't have them growing around here. That's awful, because I have hawthorn trees, and I'm planting more hawthorn trees, and those make good rootstock to graft apples onto. And, those are hawthorns that are native, and so they, can deal with the disease cycle, the rain cycle. They're just more accustomed to being in this area than this apple, which I don't know a lot about. And I can't buy the plant near here. There's probably some kind of apple plants I can buy, but, so I have issues. Now, I'm going to show you how to cut up an apple. And it's going to be a little bit different way because I have a different goal. And now, normally I would just eat apples like this, but it's inconvenient and you get your hands all juicy and you kind of have to, I don't like it. I just don't like it. I think, how they have taco trucks and taco stands? I think we should have cut fruit stands. And I have seen places where they sell fruit cut up in cups. Because I want to eat fruit, right? It's healthy, it's good, it's sweet, it's yummy. But I don't want to do any work. And I don't want them in a little plastic cup either. I think I should just have a fruit platter. And so I think that there could be places that sell individual fruit platters on a biodegradable bowl or tray, or bigger fruit platters for more people. And then those people who already share germs anyway could all be picking them up with their hands and eating these pieces of fruit. I remember I was at a festival one time, and if you can believe it, I was working security, which is really funny, actually, if you knew me. But working security, and I think the first time I worked at that festival, I was working the 12 to 6 a.m. shift or some bullshit. So we were bored out there in the middle of the night. Nothing's happening at the gate except an occasional straggler weirdo, or something, but not much. We're just standing there controlling that point. And they sent out an ATV with a platter of fruits and stuff, maybe veggies too, I don't recall. But that was a wonderful luxury. Also, we were pretty bored, although I was also pretty altered, so I wasn't totally bored, because you can be altered on that job. It's not a job that requires any real thought. Nothing happens. I shouldn't admit that, I suppose. But hey, whatever, Could drink on a job or something with some kind of jobs, and who's going to care? My job was basically to stand there, and unfortunately they also put me on radio duty. That's happened at a couple festivals, and I have severe hearing damage, and so I can't hear that it goes off, and I can't hear them on the thing very well. I can't even talk on the phone very well. So I have hearing damage from playing around trains as a kid, because trains are cool, so we would get as close to them as we could. From shooting guns a lot without ear protection, which you should have ear protection. So guns clearly are dangerous. Nobody ever got shot, by the way. But every time we shot them, I was hurting my ears, because guns are very noisy. In fact, just recently, I have a video on my channel shooting guns without ear protection again, because I'm apparently stupid. And then also chainsaws. We cut wood in high school to make money, firewood, to then dry it and then sell it to people when there was a big winter storm and they wanted firewood very badly. So the price would go up a little bit. We would deliver a pickup truck load to them. So when you cut up an apple, there's all sorts of weird things people, they want to get the skin off of it, which is dumb. The skin has nutrients and stuff. Don't do that. Don't peel an apple like that. This is stupid. Don't cut it into quarters. Why? Because I want the seeds. Don't murder the seeds. Seeds are the worst kind of waste there is. So we're going to cut it near the core, right? Not in the middle, but near the core, as far out as we have to, and think we're not going to hit any seeds. We'll see if this works. I hope I don't murder any seeds. Aha! No seeds murdered. Very good. Now I've got this nice, convenient to eat piece. And I can make them this size, which is way easier than gnawing at this big fruit. What am I, a monkey? Now, I could chop this off right here and then the other side off and then get one little piece over there. That would actually work. What's nice about this is I can actually see where I'm cutting. When I started this video, I was going to cut it into thirds. But I'm kind of liking now the idea of the extra piece, and yeah, I like that better. So we're going to cut this here. Didn't get any seeds. That's fantastic. We'll cut it over here. I'm trying to waste those little oh, didn't hit a seed. Oh, I nicked a seed right there. I just barely nicked it. So that's, wait, no, I didn't nick it. I did nick it. I didn't nick it. Here's a little apple seed. See that? I would make Johnny Appleseed proud with my project here. Now, somebody's going to say, that seed's not going to breed true. It's not going to make the same exact kind of apple. And that's possible. It depends on whether this is a hybrid or not, or it depends on the genetic history of this apple. I don't give a shit, okay? It's going to become an apple tree. And if I save these, I got a whole bag of apples I bought. And if I keep buying apples and saving seeds, and then I have beds of dirt where I'm growing baby seedlings, and then I'm waiting years will go by, okay? And I'm planting all these apple trees everywhere, then I can evaluate every single apple tree that comes up and find the ones that produce fruit. Now, even before they produce fruit, I could start grafting pieces off of it onto other things, but it would be awfully nice to see that fruit, wouldn't it? And then we can test. We can see, well, did it breed true or didn't it? If it didn't breed true, we get this last piece off here, that's okay, big deal. I mean, I wasted a little bit of energy, but most of that energy was done by the environment, growing that apple tree. So there we've got my 5 pieces total, one weird one, and then I've got this. Now, I can still eat pieces of this. That's a sweet apple. Apples vary so much. Like Red Delicious, I've never been a big, huge fan of, despite the attractive sounding name. I used to like Granny Smith apples a lot. And this is a Gala apple, which I haven't actually eaten that many of in my life. But, I'll buy whatever thing with a seed I can get. I mean, I've grown kiwis from seed before. They were bought in the supermarket. Just recently I got cherries, Bing cherries, and then I got blackberries, but I was hungry, and so even though I saved the Bing seeds, and I can also graft cherry onto black cherry that I have here natively, I don't know if it would work on the hawthorn or not. And then I did look up, there's videos about how to like blenderize blackberries and get the seeds out and then raise those into plants. And those were Himalayan blackberries, really good blackberries. And I need to do that, but unfortunately I was so excited by the cherries and the blackberries that I ate them all, and then I left the seeds in a dish, and I broke one seed open, and I let that dry out. All the rest of them dried out, so I wasted my opportunity. The good thing is I now know how to get cherries and blackberries again, and I will put a system in place for seed reproduction. Because what I say before, seeds are the most wasteful waste product. They're all that potential that's there. You know, it's like onanism. You can look that up for fun. You don't want to waste your seed. Apples are so good. Okay, so now I've got fuck off. Right, fuck these little pieces. Alright, so I couldn't find a clean cutting board, so I'm just using a piece of cardboard from something I bought. I think it was a hard drive. My new exciting hard drive. Oh yeah, so we'll dig through here. We'll get more seeds out. There we go. So far we've got 3 seeds out of this. 2 and 3. And now, you'll want to look up how to germinate each kind of seed because they're all different. Now, one thing that they'll mention is stratification. Some kinds of seeds, that was the 4th one. Some kinds of seeds want to, can I eat this part? You can, but the texture of the little things around the seed is kind of annoying. I think there might be one more seed hiding in here. Let's find out. Maybe 2 if we're lucky. There's 2. 2 little seeds right there. So that's a total of 5 seeds out of 1 apple. Well, you can imagine if you have people eating a bunch of apples, that adds up real quick, doesn't it? So you're going to have this inflow of seeds if you start to do any kind of seed saving at all. And then you do the harder part, which is germinating them, but you've got your space set up for that. You've got it all sanitary and stuff so they don't mold. And really you need one person who focuses on seed germination. It's a whole job. There should just be like one kind of greenhouse or something that has good humidity, that has good space and tools, and it has the shady spots or places in boxes, and you keep it all really clean. And then you've got this great space for germinating seeds. And that can be a part-time job for somebody. All your tomato seeds, you don't want to waste tomato seeds. You need to ferment those because each kind of seed that you have access to wants different things to be able to germinate. I mentioned briefly cold stratification. These were in a refrigerated part of Costco. Stratification is when a seed has to go through winter. It has to get chilling hours so that it activates the seed, essentially. Now, you can do it without that, maybe. And all the things you read may or may not be true, so you can experiment with ways of germinating. But if you really became an expert at germinating seeds, you could even do this in an apartment, right? And then you have all these baby trees, and then you make friends with people who have a lot of dirt or land, and you can trade those with people in exchange for using their land. A lot of people are big whiners, like, I don't have any land. Yeah, it's like, well, do some fucking work, help out, do something useful, and then you can use someone's land. Make agreements with people. There's a lot of land. I have lots of land I want to share. But I want to hear from people who want to give me something for it. It doesn't have to be money. In this case, seed germination is just time and labor, which you waste most of anyway. That's really good. That's very healthy. We could blenderize these with the skins on them. And that'd be okay too. I'm not totally against juicing. It is an extra step. And there is a danger that you could become like a fruitarian and be drinking too much fruits. Not usually a problem. I mean, people eat such crap, but you could have one smoothie. I would love to do that because I know of a place in town that has smoothies, and they put celery in it, they put oranges in it, they put a whole bunch of stuff in there. I made a video once about that, and you just guzzle it down, and you've got all your veggies for the day. It's really satisfying. So I would not be against a juice bar, actually. And they use a blender. They don't use a juicer. It's the same effect. But what I like about the blender is the pulp stays in it, because the pulp is actually good stuff. If I juiced it, it would get rid of the skin, I think. I've known people who juice stuff a lot. But I like the idea of blenderizing it. Don't peel off the carrot skin. And they don't put potatoes in these drinks, but peeling potatoes, who thought that up? The skin has a whole bunch of stuff in it. Also, it's a waste of your fucking time to waste your life peeling potatoes. That's boring. Even if you've got a machine to do it faster or something, it's a waste of food. I mean, I guess you could have potatoes for mashed potatoes, and then you could use the pulp. If you're using the pulp for something, so you're still eating it, maybe it's okay. But I just want to keep it pretty damn simple. The least work I can do, the better. So these little seeds, I have to make sure they don't dry out. Some seeds don't mind drying out. Some do not want to. This seed looks like it's already sprouting. Holy mackerel. Holy mackerel. This seed has already started to open up and has a tiny sprout on it. It's really amazing I didn't damage it, considering I wasn't very careful. But that already is germinating. And so if I put this in some paper towels in a Ziploc or some plastic, just keep it at the right moisture and make sure it doesn't mold. This one already is sprouting. This one right here, the cask of it, the husk is already broken off, and it looks like it is either about to sprout right out of there, or that the sprout happened there and I broke it off. I think that it hasn't broken off though. This one looks great. So this is a way that I can be maternal. I can be or paternal, I guess. And this is not like a sperm, right? This is already an embryo. So this is already fertilized, like pollen hit the flowers of the plant, and then it grew into the fruit, and then this is the womb. It's going to get gross here as I eat these, but it's an apple womb, and it's growing. But the fact that this one's already sprouting is a great sign. Also, I've had these apples sitting for a week or something on my table, and so I bet the other ones are starting to sprout inside of it too, and the actual apple isn't withered or bad yet. The apple's fine. So I'm suspecting that if I save all these seeds and put them in the right spot, I'm going to get 20 plants out of it, 20 little baby trees. And some of those are going to produce really good apples. Some of them might not. Maybe they all will. I don't know. But I need that plant material to then graft onto the other stuff. I want you to learn about grafting. It's a very important process. Where your food comes from fucking matters, because all the agricultural systems that are providing you with food right now are all going to fall. They're going to fail, and your entire civilization is going to collapse, and you will starve to death. And it'll be too late if you think of it at that time. Your bug-out bag won't mean shit. You have to create the new world now if you want a world you can survive in. So we need to create food forests everywhere. I need to fill this forest with food. And, animals might eat most of it right now. I don't care. Good. This is so funny. This is my ex-girlfriend's water bottle she left here years ago. She was from Tanzania, obviously. And this plate right here that I just happened to grab because I wanted a pretty plate, I have from my first girlfriend. She gave it to me as a present. And that was a long time ago. She was gorgeous and wonderful and nice. Lovely person I will never forget. What a sweetheart. Yeah. Well, at least I have good memories, even though I'm an old, weird dude now. But who knows? Maybe a chick will wander by at some point. That's not a fucking invitation. Probably. Well, great. Thanks for eating an apple with me. I'll see you later.